Joining us now on the Harris Way with Wildcat Sports Talk is former Deputy Athletic Director of Kentucky, DeWayne Peevy, now Athletic Director at DePaul. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. It's been a fun ride. I've been on the job almost 40 days, but I miss my old Kentucky home. But things are going great. Just hitting it running.
All right.
That's awesome.
So that's definitely. So I'm gonna start off right from the jump, man. You come in during the Billy G era.
Right.
You come in through the Billy G era, and was it your first year that we went to the NIT, or is that your second year?
That was my first year. We went to
Okay,
the
so
NCAA tournament for 17 straight years until I got
yeah,
there.
right. So your first year, we go to the NIT, and then you're there when they win the whole thing. How
Yeah.
was it when you first came in the door and leaving out the door?
Well, it was really night and day, and it wasn't about really coaching changes. Just the way, and Ramon, you've seen it, just even coming back, and you experienced some of those things too. Just how we approached basketball as a whole was different from my first year to that championship season, and
Right.
just the different things that we were doing, how we were approaching things. Obviously we didn't even have the new lodge or new locker room at Rupp, none of that until after we
Right.
won the championship. So it wasn't really about those things, but it was just a buy-in and a belief, and just the hype was amazing. Like from year one to year two, and because you didn't have the expectations yet, it was just so much more fun.
Right.
And that's the things I look back on in Cal's first year, just how much more fun we were having.
Right.
And then that led to 2 years later winning the national championship.
Right. Right. So for people that may not understand, what's the difference between your job title and requirements that you had at UK that you now have at DePaul University?
So, obviously I'm the director of athletics here at DePaul University. So that means I'm the head of our athletics department. At Kentucky, I was the number 2 person. So like vice president, so to speak,
Right.
so
Gotcha.
the COO, and I oversaw the men's basketball program in general, where now I've got 15 sports that I oversee. And
Right.
so it's a little different from that standpoint. But the good thing about my time at Kentucky really just helped prepare me for this job, because one, we don't have football here. So basically basketball is the one revenue sport. And so my experience of what I did at Kentucky is so funny, Ramon. So the same challenges I've got right now, I'm meeting with alums from DePaul, and I've got buy-in because of what I've done at Kentucky, or just not just you guys that I actually worked with, but people that had went to Kentucky in the past, getting those guys connected to do a better job with our alums. That's kind of one of the challenges that I'm working on right now here at DePaul.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, definitely. I know it's a challenge, man. But if I could say personally, man, when you first came to the University of Kentucky, it was like, okay, we got a new people in the office. Okay, and Billy G has brought so many people in the office. Me personally, I didn't know what to expect, because he was bringing
Right.
in people like-minded like him. So it was like, okay, here we got another guy that we're adding to the team. And then when I got to talk with you, and then you're traveling with us, and I was like, man, he's actually really cool. Like, he's actually a real cool, laid back guy. And then to see you be interactive with the players, because, like, nothing against the people that was before you, but you could definitely feel the difference between office and athletes
I
at
got you.
some points. And then when you came in there, it was just like all one. You were in the locker room, you were, in the practice facility. You made yourself known, and you built a relationship with the players. So then now, hey, DeWayne, 10 years down the line, you mind being the guest on my show? Not thinking 10 years back, like, hey, I would still be talking and interacting with this person in the way that I do. And so I wanted to say that you will be missed at the University of Kentucky, man. You made it fun. You brought in a positive mindset and a positive energy. Like, it just came off you when you got there. And I know that Big Blue Nation is going to miss you. And there's a lot of things that you may not get credit for that Big Blue Nation know that you did. But me personally, I know, and I just want to say thank you.
Well, I appreciate that. And obviously, like I said before, my time at Kentucky was great. I can't believe I was there 12 years.
Right.
I put out a picture yesterday, with the whole Twitter theme of, like it was my first game with my family in Rupp. And then I put up a picture of us at the press conference here and like just how far we've come. But, Kentucky, I felt like I was born in Birmingham, Alabama, but I was like bred in Kentucky from my career standpoint. Because when I came to Kentucky, I was really overseeing the media relations department, working with John Hayden and, us spending time. And obviously that was a different role and getting to know you guys. But obviously I came in trying to approach it a different way to where we all in this together. I'm going to protect you, but obviously I need you to look out for me too. And then that way, when I translated to being in administration, it was a natural move, especially dealing with Cal, starting his Twitter account, dealing with him every day. And that made that transition where like, okay, we need somebody to work with Cal every day. And that really just kind of launched me to be able to get involved in some other things. And, obviously, I wasn't looking for a job because things were going so good at Kentucky, but this DePaul thing came our way. And, we're up here in Chicago, we're all getting settled. I found out, I put my house out on the internet, but I got an offer. It worked because I got an offer like the next day.
Oh, wow.
So it worked. Somebody from out of town. So we got, so things are going good. And I'm hoping to get back down to Kentucky soon just to see everybody because I didn't get a send off with everything going on in the pandemic.
Right.
I won't be a stranger for sure. That's for sure.
All right. Well, Tim and Adam, I know you guys have some questions for DeWayne as well.
Yeah. Well, first of all, DeWayne, we really appreciate you coming on the show. My name is Adam, and this is Tim. And actually, I guess I have to first tell you that I had dealt with you several times because back in 2010, actually, I covered that team on the floor at Rupp Arena, and so I we had communicated back and forth, and it was just. And that was one of the things I told Ramon. I was like, it was so smooth, man. Like you would deal with him, and it was just like you knew.
Yeah, no doubt. I myself too. I had covered some games for a local newspaper, and it just always. And that's what I was going to say. He kind of ran like a fine-oiled machine, like you and Coach Cal really had this connection.
Well, I think the biggest thing is that I've always tried to care about people, and probably if I look back at my career. The best things I can look back at that I've even have done is just really the people that I've got relationships with, and that carries forward for whatever you do, and treating everybody like make you feel like you're my friend. We're in this together. Like whether it's Ramon, current players, as alums, as media covering the event. We started a lot of stuff where we were doing more online media and things of that nature when I got there at Kentucky, and so obviously we got a chance to grow. The amount of people that were covering our games because of that, kind of on the forefront of it before that became like a normal thing. And so obviously I made a lot of friends and a lot of people's first opportunities to cover sports or Kentucky in general. And it was a fun ride. And I definitely missed those connections.
Yeah. And that's again, it was my first opportunity to do it. And so I, thank you for that because it literally was an experience I'll never forget. And it's kind of shadowing kind of what Ramon said there, but it's interesting because I didn't know when I was covering 10 years ago in 2010 that I'd be on a show with Ramon and have you as well. So it's just you never know. Everything comes around full circle. But I have to ask you because obviously we it's not been able to be talked about a whole lot since you left. But the decision to kind of leave had to have been tough. And kind of walk through us with that. I kind of wanted to. Obviously, you went to an amazing position there at DePaul. So kind of tell us how that played for you.
Well, I mean, like I said before, I really wasn't looking for a job, and obviously, there's not a lot of athletic director openings during the whole COVID-19 pandemic. And one of the things that happened is. I'm trying to actually finish my master's. I have another year to go in grad school. And so I was kind of putting those things to the side a little bit. And the Paul job opened. Jeannie Poncetta, she retired. The Paul was obviously a job that I knew about from a basketball sense. I haven't really looked at a basketball-only AD job at all. But during the pandemic, that actually looked a lot more attractive with everything that was going on with football and the restrictions and maybe not playing games and the expenses of it to make it even possible. And I actually spent some time kind of just checking out the job. I spent some time coming up, checking with people that I knew in the Chicago area to get a little deeper feel. And then I finally decided I was actually going to go after it. And I talked to Mitch Barnhart about it. He agreed that it was a job. He had a friendship with Jeannie, so he knew a little bit about the job from the inside. And then it was a matter, could I get it? And, going through that process, we had a search firm, was DHR International. Glenn Sugiyama was leading the search. I'd never been through athletic director search with them, so I didn't know what that was going to be about. And I mean, it was hard. It was Zoom interviews. I think I made a top 20 and got narrowed down to 10 people that they interviewed by Zoom. And then they brought 5 people to Illinois into campus. And then, be one of the finalists and then get a chance to get the job. It was a long process, a long wait before you formally get offered the job. And then it's real. And then you realize I'm actually about to leave Kentucky. I haven't, I've been here 12 years. I probably thought I finished my career there, but it's really helped prepare me for this. I mean, Mitch Barnhart has an unbelievable tree with other athletic directors, whether it's me at DePaul, Mark Coyle at Minnesota, who was a supervisor of mine, Rob Mullins at Oregon, who was also my supervisor when I first got to Kentucky, Greg Byrne at Alabama, Scott Strickland at Florida, Kevin Saul at Murray State. Now I'm one of those tree, and we'll see where we all go from here. But we're a separate family too, and I think that process, it was a little shocking because a lot of people never thought I would leave or couldn't believe it when they heard the rumors. But it was a good position, and I'm excited about where we can take this. And I'm trying to get DePaul back on the map in the national basketball scene.
Man, that was big time.
Hey, DeWayne, I have one more real quick for you. Like Adam said, appreciate you coming on and everything, and admire what you've done at UK. Just what was it like, working with Coach Cal? I mean, I know, like I said before, you guys had a really good – it seemed like you worked really well together. What's he like behind the scenes? Did you guys have a lot of fun together? You got any kind of maybe a fun inside story for us?
Well, I think, when he got hired, being a part of that process up front, you knew he was somebody you were going to work with, because I didn't know if he was bringing in his own media guy and I might be out too, right? You don't know how that goes. But immediately I started up his Twitter account, and I was managing that for years, and especially that first year before we even played a game, because we had our press conference on April 1st. I think I started a Twitter account around April 23rd on 2009. And with that alone, we had to talk 3 or 4 times a day just to do the tweets. And our relationship grew over that summer before we even played games. And he's one of my best friends now. Obviously, I was a confidant of his for a long time. I haven't probably, since I've been here for 40, I've been on the job, I think 30, 39 days. We've probably gone maybe 2 days where we didn't text or talk. So we still are in talk. I saw the video he put out before he put it out yesterday. We talked about some of the scheduling things and challenges, and, we still brainstorm about things, and that's something that'll continue. I mean, those are just relationships you're not going to let go of, man. But he is just so much like a regular guy. And just the funny stuff and the calls we have, maybe Ellen's in the car listening to us, laughing at us being silly. But, my kids think of him like an Uncle Cal, not like Coach John Calipari, Hall of Famer. And he's just such a down-to-earth person that if you really get to know him, I don't know how anybody doesn't like him, because he's going to do anything and everything to help. And so put all that to the side. I told him that you're playing Kentucky, and Kentucky's coming to Wintrust Arena to play DePaul. That's got to happen.
I love it.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
I love it.
Man.
Hey, listen.
Man.
So what we always do at the end of these interviews is we kind of give you your opportunity to talk to Big Blue Nation, and just whatever you want to say, whatever's on your mind, and
Okay.
and just kind of the floor is yours. That's
Okay.
pretty simple, right? No pressure.
Right. Well, I mean, to Big Blue Nation, I don't know if I got a chance to say a proper goodbye, but it's not goodbye. It's just, hey, you've got somebody just up the road now that's still keeping an eye on you. I don't have a football team, so I can keep up with that still and root for on Saturdays. But from a basketball sense, I'm part of La Familia too. I'm part of that family, and it's a legacy that's going to keep going. I'm rooting for those boys to kind of hang number 9. I even texted them and told all those guys, you better win it now, because we're going to get in the mix here at DePaul too. We're going to be we're going to bring the Thunder too later on and start making a run in this thing. But I hope people embrace it and understand. I hope I touched a lot of people. For people that maybe we didn't have the greatest talk or conversation, I hope you knew, if you knew me, it definitely wasn't a personal thing, but obviously it's a job at hand. But I made a lot of lifelong lasting relationships with people in Kentucky. My daughter is a freshman at Kentucky State, so we'll still be, down in Frankfort and Lexington from time to time, and visiting and seeing some of our good friends. And don't be a stranger. I'm gonna be following things. You'll see tweets from me that'll still talk about things in Kentucky. I hope everybody didn't drop me from their followers because they're getting too much DePaul stuff. But I'm gonna miss it. I miss the people more than anything else in Kentucky. It's just missing the people. And hopefully I could bring a bunch of them with me. And for the Kentucky fans that are up here in Chicago or in Illinois, come out and support. Come see me. Let's tell some old stories. I'll give you some Cal secrets if you buy season tickets to DePaul basketball. And then we'll go on from there. So we'll keep that connection going until we get a chance to come back to Rupp Arena.
Man, that's big time.
Yep. Love it.
That's big time right there. Man, DeWayne, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I've always appreciated you. And like I said at the beginning of the show, the energy that you brought to the University of Kentucky, especially at a period of time where it was very, very rough. And, you know what I mean. But
we were trying to keep each other alive. We were trying
to stick with it. Yeah. So I thank you. I appreciate you. Even after I graduated and left, you still kept in contact with me. And I appreciate it. To this day, you still keep in contact with me. And I appreciate that.
Hey, just make sure I'm still invited to the alumni function now. I did bring my Kentucky La Familia shirt with me. I don't have as much Kentucky gear as I once had, but I got my La Familia shirt. I do have that.
All right, yeah, you family for sure.
Hey, we all have a reason to cheer for DePaul now.
That's right.
Hey, everybody needs another team, right?
That's right. That's
right.
Hey,
I appreciate it, guys.
I'll close this off by saying go DePaul and go Cats.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, DeWayne.
Go Blue Demons. Dream big dreams.
That's right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, now take care.